And we're live. What's up? Welcome to my IG, everyone who's watching. So today we're going to talk about the dimensions of consciousness. So this is something that prepares us to understand the higher, relatively speaking, fundamentals of the evolutionary path, what a lot of us call self-discovery. So this self-discovery begins by us starting at our fundamental conventional dimension of consciousness, meaning the regular human experience, living this life based upon society, leading our own personalities. And so we learn what it is to be human, and then we accept it, and we keep it going. Well, I'm here to tell you there is another way. And this other way is to then rise in your consciousness, meaning what you were conscious of. When you rise in your consciousness, you are able to experience a new level of reality. This new level of reality allows you to be more free, more fluid, and allow you to create the life of your dreams at a rapid pace. Instead of flowing through linear time, taking years to figure out what you're here to do on this planet. Well, again, I'm here to remind you that you can find out what you actually came here to do when you were born on this planet. It is available to you with your permission and your choice to find out your soul's purpose for incarnating on Earth. This might sound a little radical to many, and yet I still am here to demonstrate otherwise. That it is not radical, but that it can be casual if you allow it. Do you allow the conversation about extraterrestrials and dimensions of consciousness, about remembering who and what created you? Can that not be seen as casual? Because when I look at that, what I see is a potential for us as human beings where we can really demonstrate that we are actually extraordinary, and that we no longer have to settle for ordinary lives. And so with this video, let's now talk about the main, very basic way of understanding dimensions of consciousness, which will then bring about more experiences with that level of consciousness. Yet it is not about the experience, but about what you become in the process of becoming. That you go from human into soul activated, soul online, which is remembering why you're here. So let's start off with the 3D. Okay, let's start off with the three-dimensional level of consciousness and perception. This three-dimensional realm of perception can be known to be the material plane. This three-dimensional level of consciousness is how we perceive things here in physicality. So, in the realms of physicality, we talk about, oh, what job do I have? How much money do I make? And my family, my necessities, my desires, the car that I want to buy, the house that I want to buy, the goals that I have. Those are physicality. The food that I want to eat every hour, the snack, the sex, the cravings for food, for flesh. This is a three-dimensional approach to living your life. A very material way of viewing your reality. Yet, as you can see, if you haven't seen it or recognized it yet, when we live through this level of perception and consciousness, life becomes very rigid. Life becomes also very closed in its box, in its three-dimensional box. Because we settle and we accept that we're purely physical when we are completely the contrary. For us to be physical, we came from that which is spiritual. So it's a little backwards, the interpretation that many of us had and that I've had in my past as well. So that's the three-dimensional approach and view on reality, purely physical and material, focused on the regular human experience. Now we can rise into a fourth dimensional approach to our consciousness and our perspective. Now this fourth dimensional perspective and approach to reality can be known to be understanding. How well are you able to understand a deeper meaning to you and your reality? By taking a fourth dimensional perspective and approach to your reality, you enter a space where you're able to feel what's right and what's not right. You are able to tap in more into your intuition, right? Your soul's guidance, also known as intuition. And we're able to live our lives following our heart, following our highest joy, which then guides us into our soul's purpose while we're actually here. And we're able to live the life of our dreams without a problem. That is possible for you if you allow it and you choose it. What this requires is understanding. Where does understanding come from? From those who are in their hearts, who wish to understand and who wish to listen with an open heart. This is the fourth dimensional approach to reality. And this is something we can choose, but it would require us to put aside our ego, our personalities, and the things that we believe so much. The attachments and the ideas that we hold so closely to our personalities, which if you take them away from us, we feel hurt. Now, that is the fourth dimensional perspective, a very loving and a very understanding one, which allows you to rise even higher into more and more levels. Yeah. And now going into the fifth dimensional perspective and approach to reality and consciousness, I want to introduce that the more you rise in your consciousness, you are becoming the Jesus. You are becoming the Buddha. Okay? The more you rise, the more you evolve, another word for rise in consciousness, the more you become conscious of about yourself, the more potential you're able to bring forth into this material reality. Meaning you can do more cool stuff, in other words. You activate your superpowers and you become online. This is then the fifth dimensional approach to reality, where you now transcend the physical barriers of this so-called reality, this paradigm of just being human and material, and you're able to see that reality actually is a little more holographic than you would have believed previously as you learned in school. That yes, you can walk on water, yes, you can teleport, yes, you can speak with telepathy. And this is all only the fruits of your endeavors and your embodiments. To activate your superpowers, to become the Jesus, to become the Buddha, is to enjoy the fruits of your becoming, of what you've chose to become, and each moment, back to back. The more you've surrendered into, not the person, but the more you surrendered into your soul, allowing it to become online and unifying you and connecting you once again with that which created you, God, Source, Creator. Yes, connecting back with that. We are meant to walk this life aware of who we are and where we come from. Why would you have it any other way? Why would you want to have it any other way? And so the fifth dimensional approach to consciousness is wisdom. So wisdom, the fifth dimensional approach to consciousness and our evolution here as human beings. How and what is the best way to be wise in our everyday life? Well, it's actually right in front of you. It's what we call the little circle in the middle of both circles. This can be known as a still point. Still point. To be still. To be able to stop your thoughts, to calm down, and to realize that you have the answers within you. Are you going to access this potential? Or are you going to keep believing what is being thought with your mind as if you are just the mind? To be wise in this lifetime is to find the perspective which comes from that place which is still, where your emotions are not overwhelming you and your thoughts are not getting in the way of the best thought stream. This is what is meant to be wise, to find that center point, to find that best perspective. Not the worst one, and not the most beautiful, lovey-dovey one, but the one that involves the most truth, the most alignment, and the most relativity to every human being. The golden rule, so to speak. Being fair in your actions, in your thoughts, and in your emotions. How still in each moment can you be with your thoughts, emotions, and actions? To stop and to say, what's the best thought to think right now? What's the best way to feel right now? And last but not least, when you've gotten the hang of both of those, you say to yourself, with my beautiful and best thought-oriented emotions and thoughts, I can then pursue the most inspired action from recognizing those best thoughts and emotions. You become a beautiful, beautiful human being. You become aligned with your best version. It's that simple. Yet the understanding may be a little more difficult than simple for some. And that's only because we've all had a lifetime. We've all been through many things in our lives, and that's okay. That's understandable. And so if it's difficult for you, and if it's easy for you, so be it. It doesn't have to always be that way. Because difficulty can turn into simplicity by your own choice. Much love. I hope you enjoy this video, and this prepares you to understand what I'll be talking about in relation to the next IGTV video, which is about ET contact, ET communication, and transmissions. Let's do it.